Okay, so the 2020 football season has officially ended, and it's postseason time. So I'm here to talk about the playoffs that are going to be coming out tomorrow. And there are two teams who are already in it. As you can see, Alabama and Clemson. They both won today. So Alabama definitely going to be the one seed. They beat Florida in a close matchup, but have been the most dominant team all year. So I don't see them moving anywhere else. And then Clemson got their revenge on Notre Dame with Trevor Lawrence coming back, and they will probably be the number 2 seed. And the final 2 seeds are down to 5 possible teams: Cincinnati, Oklahoma, Ohio State, Texas A&M, and Notre Dame. Cincinnati did win today against Tulsa in a close game, but I don't see them having any chance at the playoffs. They missed a whole month of football, and the committee's just been dropping them in the rankings every single week, so I don't see the committee giving them any chance of making the playoff. Another team that I didn't add on here is Coastal Carolina. Yes, I know they're undefeated. I just don't think the committee takes them seriously enough to put them in the rankings. Maybe if they played against Louisiana this week and the game didn't get canceled, they would have a chance, but I don't see them having any chance to make the playoffs. And then Oklahoma. Oklahoma beat Iowa State today in a close game, but they are a 2-loss team, so I don't give them any realistic shot at making the playoff. They have won a bunch of games in a row, and they've dominated the Big 12 Conference over the past 6 years. They've made the playoffs a bunch of times as the 4th seed and just gets destroyed by the number 1 seed, so I don't see them having any chance to make the playoffs this year. So I think the final 2 spots come down to these final 3 teams: Ohio State, Texas A&M, and Notre Dame. Ohio State won their championship game today against Northwestern. Kind of an ugly game. They did end up pulling away at the end. Their running game by Trey Sermon was absolutely unbelievable. And I'm not sure. I believe the committee is going to put them at 3, even though that's not where I think they should go. And, okay, next team is Texas A&M. Texas A&M beat Tennessee today pretty convincingly. And that was not a championship game. That was just another game on the schedule. So they didn't get any chance at a championship because they lost to Alabama by 28 earlier in the year. So Alabama obviously won that side of the SEC. And then the final team is Notre Dame, who did lose pretty badly today to Clemson. And it was an ugly loss. They got destroyed. But they only have 1 loss in the season, and they finished with a bunch of wins, I think 10 wins. So they still had a great season. Okay, so what I think the committee is going to do is put Ohio State at 3 and Notre Dame at 4, just because they really like Notre Dame for some reason, but I completely disagree. Notre Dame looked terrible today, and I know they beat Clemson once, but I don't think that matters because they didn't have their starting quarterback or 2 of their best defenders. I know you can only play what's on the field, but still, they went to double overtime with a true freshman quarterback. So after getting destroyed by Clemson today, I don't see any way they should be in the playoff. But I see everyone else putting them in the playoff, so I think the committee's going to put in the playoff, even though I completely disagree with that. What I think it should be is Alabama 1, Clemson 2, Texas A&M 3, and Ohio State 4, because Ohio State did not look good today, and A&M's been on fire. But they had Ohio State in front of A&M before this week. There's no way they could possibly jump A&M above Ohio State, especially when A&M played Tennessee, where Ohio State at least played a decently ranked team, even though Northwestern isn't that good. So I would like to see A&M at 3 and Ohio State at 4, but what I think the committee is going to do is put Ohio State at 3 and Notre Dame at 4. Even though, okay, for my honest opinion though, even if they don't do what I want, they should at least have A&M over Notre Dame. So they should have at least Ohio State at 3 and A&M at 4. I don't know if they're going to do that though, because A&M's already played Alabama before and they got destroyed, even though it was on the road. But the reason they should be in is they have 1 loss in the best conference against the best team on the road. And not to mention they had Jalen Waddle when they played him, who was one of the best athletes in all of college football. So that's what I think. We'll see tomorrow, and see you.